We're continuing our reviews of past Star Trek Discovery tie-in novels, and we'll be looking at The Weight of the Stars by Una McCormack. Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Trek Central. With Una McCormack being named as the author for the upcoming tie-in novel for Star Trek Picard, The Last Best Hope, it seems like a good time to look at her previous Trek work and what this might mean for her upcoming book. Now this will be a spoiler-free review of the novel, hopefully be able to give you some insight into whether it's worth picking up. If you're more of an audiobook person, stick around as we have a treat for you later on in the video. Does it hold up? Well, let's check it out. The Weight of the Stars follows a 16-year-old Sylvia Tilly as she navigates the turbulent times of growing up as a teenager to a mother who expects too much from her, and the perilous situations of going off to a boarding school. She embarks on an adventure of a lifetime which paves the way towards her bright future within Starfleet. The author of the novel is Una McCormack, a notable Star Trek author alum who has a great many Star Trek books underneath her belt, most notably being many Deep Space Nine novels. You'll usually find her writing novels about Cardassia, which are simply amazing. Reading through this book, and it's apparent that Una has a great understanding of character dynamics and interactions, which just leap off the page. Every single dialogue between differing characters feels real and as vivid as if it's happening right in front of you. The audience for this book is definitely a young adult. It's a very typical young girl growing up in a new environment story. I could liken this book to any number of young person goes to a boarding school and learns about themselves, and yet even so, this book probably outshines most of them, at least for me anyway. The book really shines in a setting that is frequently done. Okay, let's talk about what we did like. As stated before, I think this book does character interactions exceptionally well. You really feel what each character is about, their successes, failings, hopes and dreams. Every character is complex and you get to see aspects of characters which some books wouldn't even cover. The book does great work for expanding on its main character, Sylvia Tilly, making her even more likeable and relatable than her quirkiness seen in Star Trek Discovery. We can all relate with being that child who has conflict with their parents, and even though Discovery showed a little of this off, with Tilly talking to her mother, we really dive deep into the relationship inside the book. You get to see her struggles as a girl growing up, and how she became the ensign we all know and love. These struggles are great and feel real, and what someone of that age, in that position during the time of Federation, would do, and what's even greater is that it's referenced in the second season of Star Trek Discovery. It's really cool that we're getting this connective tissue between the Discovery books and the series itself. With Una McCormack being announced as a writer for the Picard tie-in book, The Last Best Hope, I will be thrilled if we get similar connective tissue with that upcoming series, Star Trek Picard. Okay, now let's talk about what we didn't like. One of my biggest gripes about this book is that I feel it as being a Star Trek book did not enhance the story. It's an excellent book and well worth a read, but nothing Star Trek in it could be replaced by a real-world replica. Boarding school in another world, boarding school in another country. Model United Federation of Planets, Model United Nations. This I feel is a big shame, but the Star Trek name on the book definitely doesn't degrade the excellence that this novel does by standing on its own. It just doesn't enhance it in any tangible way, is how I found whilst reading it. Now this isn't a bad situation at all, as it's about Tilly growing up, and it's actually quite nice that all children still face similar situations, such as the stresses of school, and how to deal with their parents and others. Technology may have progressed, but we are still human at the end of the day, and this book does a great job of showing off the humanity of it all. So what? So do we recommend you pick up this book? As a Star Trek book? Probably not as much as other Trek books, but as a novel? Absolutely. This is an amazing story which I enjoyed the whole time while I was reading it. It was the character interactions and wanting to know what happened to these characters next is what made it so engaging. If you love Tilly in Discovery, this will also be a great story to pick up as it really expands on her character and makes her that much more relatable and lovable from what we've seen in the show. I think after reading this, I can now connect with and understand Tilly a lot more. Una McCormack is very good at smaller scale conflicts than any other Trek authors in my opinion, and yet making these small conflicts having the most impact from a character perspective. Her work is extremely character driven, which is why we here at Trek Central just cannot wait for The Last Best Hope and what happened to Picard between Star Trek Nemesis and the new show Star Trek Picard. What happened to him, and more importantly, how this might have affected his character from how we previously know him. As mentioned, Una's next book, The Last Best Hope, is scheduled to release in February 2020 next year, though with the release of Star Trek Picard this could change. Never fear, as we'll aim to keep you updated. The release date for Star Trek Picard is January 23rd, 2020, so therefore the book releasing afterwards says it might be based or spoil some information in the series. Again, we don't know just yet, but the date could change. Never fear, we'll keep you up to date via social media. Okay, that's a wrap on our spoiler-free review of The Weight of the Stars by Una McCormack. Learning about the formative experiences of our favourite ensign was amazing, and we can't wait to see more of Tilly in the upcoming Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery airing in 2020. I hope this review helps you decide whether you want to pick up this book or not. Personally, however, I say if you want to know more about Tilly or just want a really good story, pick this one up. Oh, and if you don't fancy reading it for yourself, maybe an audiobook is more your style. We're actually offering a free audiobook trial right now. You can sign up, get some points, and actually listen to this book as it's available on the site. Simply click the link in the description and it'll be taken to your Audible trial. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the latest Star Trek news, lore, and more, then make sure to subscribe to Trek Central here on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media or check out our website for new articles every week. I've been Captain Jack, thank you for watching, and as always, live long and prosper.